Hello， 大家好，我们是
海风聊天吧。
有海风的日子，日日是好日，天天是好天。
欢迎收听海风聊天吧的第二季哦。今天我们邀请了一个非常非常有趣的一个嘉宾哦，来，他是 Eugene。OK， 所以welcome to our second season of the CB's Chat Bar. Okay, today's episode will be recorded in English because our guest is more comfortable in English. Yeah, a bit of Chinese can I think.
I can understand Chinese, but you asked me to speak Mandarin. I think listeners need subtitles.
Phrases can. Yeah. Okay, so Eugene is actually best known in the horror community as the Prince of Paranormal. Okay, and he's the author of the book Supernatural Confessions and has been the face of the brand since 2015, collecting and curating people's paranormal encounters and producing them into both long and short form video clips, audio podcasts, and text articles. He has also appeared as a host on VC's Haunting History series and as a guest speaker on many paranormal-related channels such as Tales of Incredible Tales, Screamapura, and other more indie channels. And then recently, he made a very interesting career switch to dedicate his full-time commitment to the Supernatural Confessions business. And then this one is the one that really intrigued me the most. In March 21st, 2024, you achieved the status as the first and only Singapore Tourism Board licensed tour guide specializing in dark tourism. Yes. Okay, so maybe I invite Eugene to introduce yourself to our listeners first.
Hi, everyone, and hi, Ching Yong, for having me here on this podcast. It's very refreshing, and usually I'm the one interviewing people.
Oh, okay.
So very rarely do I get to tell my story, so thank you for the opportunity. I'm a founder for Supernatural Confessions. It'll be my 10th year in 2025. So having run this for quite a number of years, it doesn't feel that long because there's a evolution from the personal growth, spiritual growth, and also as a business. So everything all combines into one. It's very hard for me to pinpoint and say which one is more important or which one is more pronounced than the other. It's almost like a pyramid.
It's a whole journey.
Correct. It's an entire journey.
Yeah, I think I quite relate to what you said just now about normally you are the one interviewing people. Yeah, because like sometimes I interview people like events or like for podcasts, right? I do feel that as the main interviewer, there's an additional stress on yourself. Like you have to keep things going. Then you have to think like, okay, what's coming up next? What's the next question I have to ask?
I think being the interviewer, it's both a fun job and a stressful job. Yeah. But it's really fun for me because I think inherently also kaypoh的人lah. So when I hear something, I would be genuinely interested and questions would come and it would flow. I never felt stressed interviewing. I personally feel that every human being have a story to tell. Everybody's life is interesting one way or another. From the CEO to the beggar, they all have their journey. But not everyone is born with a gift to speak. But
that's true.
As the interviewer, it is your job and your gift to be able to ask the questions, to pull forth this answer, and hopefully somewhere in that 1 hour, 1.5 hours that you have, you're able to piece a narrative for your interviewee that is gives justice to his life.
I see.
Yeah, so I'm also like you. I'm a very kaypoh person. Yeah, so when I was like looking at your videos, right, I'm actually very curious. What made you decide to start Supernatural Confessions? And I realized you have a book.
Yes.
With the same title, Supernatural Confessions, you are not alone.
Advertisement time.
Yeah. So I'm very intrigued. Did you start the whole journey because you're writing this book or the other way around where you started all this supernatural stuff and then you decided, okay, I need to write a book?
No, so this book was published in 2015. I started writing in 2014, so it took me about a year. I wrote it in under 3 months, but the editing process...
Yes.
You guys would know, right?
Yeah.
The writing is easy. The editing and publishing is the challenging part. So if you look at my Facebook URL, it says Supernatural Confessions Books.
Yes.
There was no intention for it to be what it is today. When I wrote this book, was only for one purpose. I went through 2 years of experience, and I felt that I needed to put my experiences somewhere.
I see.
As a form of therapy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So writing was a therapy for you.
Because, to go through ghost encounters for 2 years, right? It's hard to tell your friends or your family or your parents. People don't know how to react to you. Either they think you siao, right?
Yeah.
Or they just then there's no further.
No
Yeah.
further. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, if you tell me about your experience, like, oh, okay, what do you want me to do?
Correct, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like I give my friends more stress than anything else. They don't know how to react to it.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay lah, never mind. I just write into a book lah. Like, at the very least, you write, you put inside a book, then this is a chapter that you're done with your life.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was sold at Kinokuniya then, and I think it went bestseller for the year. And people started calling me and sharing with me their stories. So they said, Eugene, I read your story and I know that nobody else in the world would believe me but you.
Oh, okay.
And so they share. So sometimes in the first minute they'll tell me their name, but 3 hours later I also forgot who they are. We don't have any other bond or interaction or transaction. There's no you pay me or I pay you.
Yeah.
Then they will say, thank you for listening. All I wanted to do was just
Share
share this thing with someone who believes me.
Oh, okay.
So over time, I cannot be doing this every day because it's 3 hours, right? And then I said, you know what? I just opened a Facebook private group.
Oh, okay.
So all you who I have ever spoken on the phone before, you come into that group. And then other people who want to share because I don't have time, right? So I crowdsource.
Oh, I see.
Community therapy lah.
So almost I hold hand and I survived the supernatural encounter, So that was how it started, and it was a private group.
Okay.
Back then, social media everyone was eyeballs. Right? The bigger the group, the better. I was like, no, I don't need this to be big. I just need this to be efficient. And I want to protect people who comes in and tell a story. But usually best kept secrets like that don't become secrets for long.
Yeah.
So people wanted to join. Then I said, okay, I have to kind of expand as well. But I told everyone there, I say, this is meant for people who have encounters. If you don't have encounters, you want to come in, you diam, okay?
Okay.
Oh.
You just read. You don't believe, you roll your eyes in private and you scroll on. No one needs you to come in and type, go to no one, right?
Yeah.
So you are a guest in our house.
Yes.
So that's the culture and tradition of Supernatural Confession, and it started to grow. So now if everyone come in, goes to, you see everyone will just... and I always tell everyone politely, and I said, we are all skeptics to varying degrees.
To a certain extent, yeah.
Right? I mean, I have heard thousands of stories. Cannot calling story A to story Z. I believe 100%, right? But what is true is I'm not there. I have not experienced what he or she has experienced, and maybe I got all the answers, but I cannot remove that fear from that person, and then not validate her experience and say, this one's so simple. Why you scared? Cannot. So we keep that kind of respect for the group. So over years, it started to grow and grow and grow. The number just got bigger and bigger. From 20 packs, from 5 to 20. Pre-COVID was about 500. Then COVID come down. And because everyone was at home, they cannot go out.
This one.
So 500 became 5,000. 5,000 became 50,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So after COVID, I thought, okay lah, my job's done already. Now people can go out and have fun. That's when I decided I wanted to quit SC.
Oh, okay.
I said, my job is done. Those kind of thing. I got my day job, I'm getting busy. So SC is taking up a lot of my time, 3-4 days a week. I have to cut I have to go interview, cut content, put out content, run live show. Hey, this is more than like a full-time job. And then I decided, I said, I'm going to quit. This was in 2022.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's quite
2 years
recent.
ago only, yeah.
Around July. I said, okay, I'm done with it lah. Then I heard a voice saying, no, you cannot quit. You need to keep doing this. By then already, it's been about 7 years in Supernatural Confessions. I can agak know which is my imagination and which is the voice of
Higher
the
being.
higher being, right?
Okay.
So I said, okay lah, you want to do this, but really how to do it? Cannot make a living, you ask me to do this. You all sit up there, you don't have to use currency. Then you say, it's easy for you to say. Then the voice say, money is an illusion. Wow.
Oh my God.
Straight away, I tell you, instead of believing, right, I scoff out loud and I say, wow, this one's xiao. And I told whatever voice it is, whatever God it is, right, I said, you think I go down chicken rice shop, I can pay in credit and merits you know, he will tell me, give me $5, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So I said cannot. Then I went on to do my business, and business was my day job was doing very well because I was in consultancy business and my own business for many years. But back to back in that short period of 6 months, 3 to 4 clients cannot pay me.
Wow.
Owe me.
Wow, that's
as a consultant. Sometimes I come up with solutions. I was outsource, sub out first, hire my team, and then I'll claim and then I'll pay back.
You pay back, yeah.
But if 3 clients back to back never pay, means I cash flow hit. Right?
Oh, you cannot pay your outsourced people.
I have to pay because my reputation.
Correct.
So I have to pay, but when the money cannot come in or cannot come in time. So it's very messy. So I start off 2023, wow, very low already. Then March, the voices came back. See, I told you money is an illusion.
What?
赢了咯，你讲这样 right? Say okay lah. Then I understood because all this promised money, all these invoices, everything. At the end of the day, where is it? But if you take that 6 months to do things for yourself and you grow yourself, and I'm a businessman, if I take all my knowledge in business and put to this, can I possibly grow it in ways that no one has thought about? Because you tell your mom, Mom, I want to do Supernatural full time. Your mother will, tell you study so hard, you don't do this. So at 2023, I was at a crossroads. And I was already in my 40s. I thought, okay, midlife crisis. Don't do now, then when do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, come. You all say can do, right? You make sure I point to heaven. You make sure I can put food on table. Don't say you be greedy. I want to buy car, good class bungalow. No need. I can put food on table in the first year.
Enough to eat.
Be realistic, in the demands that I made, right? Straight away, right after that, within the first 3 months, community came in, support, make donation, everything. Sponsors came in, like, wow, from where? So I went on, and now it's 2024. I can only say that whatever I've been doing with SC, right, Supernatural Confessions, the doors, the opportunity, the amazingness of it. I get calls from people, invitation to go to mountains in Thailand that no one has ever gone. It's the kind of environment that even if you had money to buy the experience, you can't.
Yes, correct.
So I feel that I'm the bridge between these experiences and the mainstream people who wants to learn about the spiritual world.
I see. This one I quite agree with you because we started our business about 3 years ago. Of course there's ups and downs, but I would still say that if anything happened, I don't know, 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, right, I can still look back at this experience and say, I have went through something and I have learned something that is very different from what you have experienced, like working for other people or working for the government and these kind of things. Yeah. So, okay, so let me ask, because you talk a bit about Supernatural Confessions, you talk a bit about being the intermediary between the general public and this kind of supernatural experiences. So I just want to ask you, what is what you are doing? How is it different from what spirit mediums or that kind of tanki, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah, that's a very good question because sometimes people can't differentiate.
Yes.
I get questions like, are you a tanki? Like, no, I'm not a tanki, so just to define what a tanki is or medium for people who may not understand this. There are people in the spiritual world that can do trance, where God would come into their body.
Possess them,
So mostly for trancing is the Taoist side. The underworld gods, the Monkey King, Nata. He will go into the body of the medium, and the medium would then be like the vessel who would communicate with the living and say, this is what you need.
Solve problems.
Right? I always find that visiting the tanki is like meet the MP session.
What?
Because you will go there and ask for, my son is studying for exam, can do well. The relationship no good, can help to. So all these minor human problems, the medium can help to solve. Then you talk about the spiritual masters and the practitioners. These are not necessarily mediums. The gods do not come to their body. They perform the miracle or the abilities based on gifts that they have. So maybe like cleanse black magic, healing for yourself, or a love spell, or career, or clear bad luck. So these are spiritual masters that do that. So where I come in, I'm not any of the above. I am a person with a lot of knowledge. So for example, today, Jing Yong come to me and say, hey, my house haunted, bro, what to do? He go online, he find, and he also cannot find 1-800-sifu.com, Call me now for house cleansing.
Yeah.
But even if you can find, you don't know whether it's real,
Legit or not.
legit, or
Yeah.
it's a con job. So he will ask me to come. Then I'll go over to Jin Yong's house. I say, okay, Ken, let me ask you a few questions. Then I investigate. I put on my device. I find out what's wrong. Then after speaking to him, after looking at the evidence, I will figure out what is the likely problem that Jin Yong is facing. Then I say, okay, what's your religion? Are you comfortable with the Buddhist, the Hindu, the Catholic? Which religion do you want to?
Lean more to lah.
Yeah. So because solutions, different religion will provide different solutions, ma. So you say, maybe anyone lah. I free thinker lah. Anyone. Okay lah. Then I will call some of the sifu that I have. I said, this is the case. Anybody want to take it or not? The reason for that is if Jin Yong pick up the phone tomorrow and call the sifu, sifu don't know him, he don't know sifu. Sifu come and help him, right? What if he suddenly turn around and say, this sifu bluff me, his reputation at stake. So if he don't know what he's dealing with at his house, maybe he will quote 8,888 because I don't know, I just anyhow lompo a number. Then he'll be like, how come so high? So there's a lot of back and forth. But when I come in, I'm like the GP, I now write a recommendation letter to the specialist. I send him there.
I see.
So my role is more of an investigator or person with knowledge, and I bridge between the specialists and those who need the help.
I see. This one is what they call Chinese called 对症下药 lah. To the how say you give the right prescription to the right ailment lah. Yeah.
Then sometimes they'll tell me, I really got no money and no job. Then I will find the right super. I say, 这个 cannot pay can do merit not. But because I ask, he will likely help. Rather than you come up to him and say, I got no money to pay you, he tell you, okay, thanks, bye. So
I see.
So it's although this job was not something I decide to do it, it became a responsibility over time because I have the knowledge and people have the problem that
I see.
And also because 10 years ago, I knew I was so desperate for help. When I first had this problem, I didn't know where to go. So now when someone call me and they are desperate, there's no way I can say, sorry, I can't help.
Because you went through something similar.
Yes.
Okay. So on the side, I just want to ask, when you receive cases like that, right? Usually they are, you can get some sort of evidence. Do you get like, maybe this person is not dealing with supernatural causes? It could be maybe they are like, I don't know, schizophrenia or something.
Good question. Because we don't go into every single case thinking, sure, got ghosts.
Yeah.
We go into every single case trying to debunk the ghost. Until we cannot debunk, and then we have to go, I say if I'm in this room, suddenly a cup fly across, and I'm not sure how to explain that. Right? But at the same time, we also got to be sensitive. Whoever called us already believe it's a ghost. The last thing you want to go is, Mr. Tan, sorry,
Fake one.
fake. You don't want to hurt the person's feelings. So my job is to go in to clarify. And 9 out of 10 times, you go to someone's house, you will not find evidence. Won't find evidence. But the one time you find evidence, it can be very fun and scary at the same time.
True.
Like there's one time I go to this house, he says haunted. I go there and say, got a nice Christmas tree, so clean, nothing haunted about it. Then I send there and okay lah, if there's any spirits here, please show yourself. Then the Mother Mary fell off the altar.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Then stunned. Then they look at me, I look at them, I say, aircon too strong. Then never mind. I also scared, right? Then I said, if that was you, can you give me another sign? Then the rosary beads from the altar flew down to the floor. Wow. They all put the key on the table. They say, you can stay here tonight. We are going out. They stay hotel.
Wow.
So for that kind of situation, really got evidence. But most times is, I see shadows. I feel sudden cold. So have a dream. But there are always signs. Just because we don't get evidence doesn't mean it's not real.
I see.
So at the same time, I also ask them, have you gone to do medical checkup? Have you gone to this? Have you gone to that?
In a more roundabout way to slowly get to your conclusion.
Yeah. Because I always tell them, supernatural is not science. I cannot come here today, write a form and sign off and say this is hard facts. I can only tell you what I know based on a pattern that I've seen. For example, if you always fall sick, you always got nightmare, Then you start seeing things, and maybe there is something, right? And what is that thing? I also can't tell you. Then I will ask things like, do you bring something home?
Oh, okay.
Do you offend someone at work that someone want to put kong tao on you? Or do you move into this house? Maybe it's the house that's a problem. Or your furniture, you got a second-hand chair. But one time this fella brought second-hand chair upstairs. The chair got spirit.
Oh, okay.
So my job is to ask these questions to find out where is the problem.
Okay. And then while researching for this episode, I saw your interview with Wayne they all from MediaCorp.
Yeah.
I think you brought up something very interesting. As in, it's a 13+ minute interview. What struck me is that you shared that your experience is that some of the spirits are actually thankful that you help them tell the story.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask you to elaborate a bit more. Like, what do you mean by that? Like them being thankful? Yeah.
It's a kind of feeling.
Oh, okay.
Right. Again, I have no evidence to back this up to say that I ever got a commendation letter from a spirit. From the
Email.
I think we don't want to get
like last night I was sleeping there. I see the ghost come and say, "I come here." No. Sometimes when you are in a certain place, not sure whether you're sensitive enough, you can feel like, hey, this place is not good. The energy is not good.
Oh, okay.
Right? But if you're very sensitive, sometimes, wow, got goosebumps, or you feel, hey, I have to leave this place. On the other hand, sometimes when you go to temples or you go to places where you feel there's nice energy, you feel very welcome.
Safe, yeah.
Or when you make a donation to a cause or to someone by the street, and you walk away, you feel, wow, this warm, fuzzy feeling. In spirituality, sometimes we say this is the energy that people transfer to you. When you do good, you have good energy. When you yang qi is strong, you got this fiery energy. And if you're sensitive enough and you do a lot of meditation, you get sense of this energy coming to you, especially when you're meditating. When you're meditating, you clear your mind. It's like, got this warm feeling come from where? Only on one side. The warm feeling can start moving also. Then you, right? Or when you are attuned as well, you go someplace like hotel. Hey, this place, cold, very cold. No good. So when we tell the story, sometimes we feel there are presence around us.
Oh, okay.
So when I feel that warm feeling, that's when I know the spirit gives the endorsement, like,
okay.
They approve. The feeling is all about feeling, right? It's like the grandma tell you, boy, you do very well for exam, kwai. Then you feel, grandma call me kwai. It's a feeling. And that feeling came out of nowhere. It's not like I imagine the feeling. It's just, when I tell the story, that feeling will come in. So that's how I know.
I see.
Yeah.
Alright. So for somebody who does something like what you do, right, you actually get more and more sensitive.
Yes. Yes.
That's so interesting.
Again, it's nothing. What I do is by choice or by design or by long-term plan. I did not even think I'm going to be this far. I always just write story, tell story only. But at the end of the day, people say, you tell all this ghost story, you need to protect yourself, which is true, right? Because you are now knowledgeable. You're going to places that are dangerous. You don't want to blah blah go in and then you become the problem after that, right? So I thought, okay, I need to up my chi. So I go pray, I go to Stephen Sifu, go for every quarterly cleansing. Your car, you drive a lot, right? Or you need to do servicing. So I change my oil, put petrol clean, put the flower water bath, make sure my chi is okay.
I see.
So because I do all that, and then I also start doing things like meditation work, then automatically you start to ascend or elevate your sensitivity to the spirit world.
Your overall demeanor also demeanor.
Demeanor. I think one of the biggest change that I feel within myself is that sense of calmness and the ability to regulate my emotions.
Oh, okay.
That was through meditation?
Meditation.
I see.
So, while you are here with your experience, right, is there like one paranormal story that is like the best or the scariest? The best and the scariest.
She's the one that keeps saying, very scared, don't dare to watch.
Yeah.
Then now she asks you.
I'm the kind I scared, I still want to watch. But then I scared, so I close and then I watch only in the morning.
I think to answer which is scariest for me is very tough now. Like I will try to recall certain key moments in the past, like the falling.
Okay.
That one was scary, but scary in a shocking way. Like you do not. It was the first time it has ever happened. You ask the ghost to show himself, he throws Mother Mary down and like what are we dealing with, right? But that night I stayed there overnight in the house.
Huh? You still stayed
Alone.
overnight in the house?
Wow.
Alone. It's not because I gung ho. Okay, on one hand, it's because I want 面子 ma. People call me come to the house, I cannot run away anyway, right? So a bit of 面子, I cannot run, so I stay there. But I also am not that frightened because I have knowledge. Knowledge of what I'm possibly dealing with. If an entity is able to topple religious artifact, perhaps it's demonic. It's not your 7-month loiter, wandering spirit, or the grandpa die downstairs, the spirit come. No. It's very, very strong. Demonic. If it's demonic, it's also very rare. So what would cause the demon to come? Only 2 reasons. You summon yourself, or someone sent to you. If someone said to you or you summon yourself, I am not the target. The demon doesn't want to do anything with me. It has a demon, not demonic entities have a purpose.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. That's why you are not scared to stay overnight.
I know I'm not target ma. I ask question or you tell me lah, how you solve your problem, Ken? 你跟我讲啦, I put my device here, you talk to me lah. So that's how I solved that particular family problem. But I mean, if you ask a question of which is the scariest, I guess the most memorable one for me was when I first started Paranormal Investigation 10 years ago, right? I went to Golden Mile. Usually people investigate is, they go to Changi lah, they go Pasir Ris lah. I know you go outdoor. Outdoor, I mean, true, ghosts are everywhere. But when someone calls you and says, my office is haunted, my staff don't want to come and work, can you please come down and do an investigation so that you can tell my staff it's either not haunted, or if it's haunted, we can do something. I thought as a boss request, that's very fair, right? So I went down. I spoke to the staff. Tell me what happened. And she said, I sit here, I open my laptop, I do work. Then from the screen, I can see got reflection behind me, one man standing.
Wow.
Okay.
Sounds scary.
Then she said, I do my work somehow, then paper fly off my table. Then another person say, she'll not work after 5 because she's very scared. So after a particular incident where I think the paper fall, the shadow, she tell her colleague, right? And nobody on the work there. All the staff don't want to work. So I got the story from them. Then I went to a Sifu. I said, Sifu, can you come down and check out the place? People say the house is haunted. The office is haunted. So he came down. Then he, 这边. Then the places that he pointed out, he says it's haunted, right? Coincide with what the staff have also said.
The paper fly, all these things lah. Yeah.
He say, whoever sit here confirm will have disturbance. Because that spot is the portal where the ghost will walk in and out. So he never hear the story. He just come in and he sends the place. So I said, okay lah, then there is a correlation already, right? Then I said, Sifu, I'm going to stay here overnight. How? Sifu said, 小. Then he left lah. Then I said, okay. So when we do investigation work, we don't bring the full everything.
Okay.
It's counterintuitive. You come in, you want to interact with the ghost, then you come in with the full everything. Come and talk to me. Show yourself. The ghost also won't come, right? So you have to come empty, which means you are without any
protection. No protection. Yeah.
Right. So I go in. We do all the camera, everything. So from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. Nothing happened. No evidence. Nothing happened. We put the paper, we put the pen, we tell the ghost, knock the thing. I repeat myself until I also tired. Then at 3 a.m. directly, I said, okay, we last 3 o'clock is where the people say the ghost will come. So I put a big torchlight there. I say, okay, spirit, I know you need energy, right? You go drain the battery. You drain the battery, you give us a sign. So the battery is like those big battery. The torchlight is like that. You film the wedding. It's very big. It can last for hours.
Yeah.
You put it there. While the camera was turned on and filming, the light turned off by itself. Then the cameras around us, because we got a few cameras, all of them can hear the all shut off.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right, I'm in a room now. I got 2 friends with me. Almost like look at each other. Scary. Then one of the office room, the aircon turned on.
Oh,
And
okay.
then at 3 a.m., right, aircon turned on, the sound is... It was very loud. Right? And because it was those old office, they have the blinds, the curtain blinds. So it started to move because the aircon was blowing. Right? So, wow. At 3 a.m., everything was silence. You hear this kind of sound. Right?
Oh, scary,
It's
yeah.
very scary. So, at that point in time, I said, because I asked the team to show itself, right, it started a sound
Showing,
inside, right?
yeah.
So I said, okay, I tell you, so now my hair was stand. I said, he wants me to go in, So I walked towards the office. Then my two friends said, I'll also go with you. Then they all so scared, right? They all like shoulder to shoulder. Right? So I could feel that my two friends are beside me. As we walked into the room, we heard a loud bang outside. Then we all turned around already. Go out and check what's wrong. So first we went to the sound. It's across the room. So it's like, imagine the size of this studio, but 3 times. I walked there to the cupboard, metal cupboard where the sound had. I saw a marker rolling on the ground.
Oh, that means continuously, yeah.
Yeah, then I like, that marker was on the table we put.
Oh.
So I would turn around, I walk across the room to where I put the marker and the papers. And it was 4 markers. The middle marker was the one that flew across.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
But inside that room, all the cameras all turned off already. The thing turned it off. So we
you
did not
cannot
record
film.
anything.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that was my first ever paranormal encounter.
Wow.
Like. I mean, the another moment that I had, I'll just share this very, very quickly since we're talking about this now. Someone got possessed. And then I said, tell the spirit to show itself. I put flour on the floor. And footprints appear walking towards me.
Wow.
My balls also shrink.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think just now you said something interesting in the sense that a lot of these things you record, right? And then sometimes if it turns off, right, then what will happen? Like recording, how you go about telling this story?
Cannot tell.
Oh, so only can like...
I can only tell you. I can tell the audience. Everything was turned off.
No video.
You gotta believe me, that's what I felt. Really? I got no video to show. It's not easy to record evidence. Most of the evidence, the easy one to record is the EVP, electronic voice phenomenon.
Okay.
Right? I have a few evidence of that. Door opening, door closing, EMF, electromagnetic field lights. But for things that fly and move, very rare to catch. Because these things don't want you to catch the evidence.
Oh. Then because part of it, because part of what you do is help people. Then I think another part is you still have to sort of capture some of this content to be made into YouTube or your social media content.
Yeah.
So how do you balance this kind of storytelling and like how much like what the audience wants to see as entertainment?
Oh, yeah. That again, brilliant question, because I do not create content purely to entertain audience. That was not the main goal. Never was not when I started, and also not now. I mean, of course, I want to create interesting content, but it's very different from I want to create content just to engage and just to create entertainment.
Okay.
Here's a big difference. If I don't capture evidence, I don't capture evidence. I'm not obliged to make something fly just to get your views. If I go 10 places, no goes, law. I just tell you no goes. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with not having 1 million views. Right? But out of the 10 times or the 1 time that happened, then we all get lucky lah. Right? Then that view count for that video just goes very, very high. But the intention is never to fabricate haunting just to create entertainment and views.
I see.
Yeah.
Because I have heard of some companies that do that lah. Yeah. And because to get views or they need that kind of like thing to keep the channel going or whatnot.
And I think that's a very slippery slope. I know some of the channels that we talk about, probably we're not going to name them, even overseas as well, that has happened. When you start creating fake haunting, then you are only going to have to keep it up. And after a while, even a normal mainstream person also will question this. You got 50 episodes. Every 50 episodes got your chair fly. Come on, right? Not want to happen.
So many, man.
Got so many, man. Yeah. So I think if anyone who goes down that route, you are in trouble because you have you have a lifespan already.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, to sort of segue into my second part of the interview, I think I'm also very interested in your business story, like how you decided to turn Supernatural Confessions into a full-time business.
Yeah.
So maybe I will start with, I mean, you touched about this a bit just now about a calling and then turning into a full-time business lah. So maybe I invite you to share more about, like, after you decide to make Supernatural Confessions into a full-time business, right? What are some of the initial steps you decide to take with the brand or with the business? Yeah.
I needed to make money.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And the first place I went to was the community. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing this for kind of number of years. I'm now doing this full time.
Okay.
And I would like your support. If you think I should go on full time, I will need to be able to make some money. So donate.
Okay.
Patreon, right? So if you donate $24, this is what I'll give you exclusive content. $12 I'll give you, or $5 I'll give you. And I told myself and the community, like, if I cannot raise enough to make a living in the first 6 months, can we all agree we close shop?
Okay.
Right? Fair lah, huh? I've given it enough time. But in the first, I think, 6 months, we pulled in about $1,000 in donations a month, every month.
Okay.
And then looking at Patreons, where I stand with that kind of number, for a new channel that just started Patreon, that was a very impressive sum already. And also, at that point in time, because I got so much attention to devote to Supernatural Confessions, I could create regular, consistent content. And once you're regular and consistent in your content, YouTube algorithm kicks in and say, this one is
legit lah. This is legit, yeah.
So they start boosting me. Then somehow my YouTube advertisement amount also went up to about 1,000. So I'm like, okay, straight up we got $2,000. Not a lot of money, but it put on the table what I asked the gods for.
I see.
Right? And then everything else after that is business really. This is where you get creative in business. I have a community. But it's very, very important never to exploit your community. People can know, people can tell. Today, content is free. Tomorrow, you start charging me for content, I will rage quit.
Okay.
So content will always have to be free for your fans. And fans love free stuff. But I have numbers. So who do I ask to pay? I go to businesses. Right? So we have to have a win-win. That when you go businesses, you also cannot sweep it. Anyhow also bring in. I got people asking me promote health supplement lah, this.
Okay.
I mean, if I really am greedy, right? Okay lah, you pay me 5K, I say your health supplement good lah. But I cannot. I'm still responsible to my community. I still have to be creative in how I take your product and run it. So instead of having like 100 sponsors coming in, throw money my way, I now maybe have only 5. But you always got to ask yourself, when you do things, you got to do things with integrity. Do things that tomorrow you wake up, you can still face the world. Because yes, you are the boss of your own show, but guess who's your boss? Your 100,000 viewers are your boss. Tomorrow you're not happy with you, you will not hear the end of it because this is the internet.
Once somebody says something, it gets viral, then that's the end.
Correct.
Yeah.
So more and more as I'm growing, I find more and more that I have to be extremely responsible, extremely clean. Almost like, you cannot have scandal.
Okay.
But not to say that you are pretending to be who you're not. Because I've done this for 10 years. If I am pretending who I'm not, it's very hard to pretend 10 years already. And I'm on like show 3 times a week, People see me, sometimes they send me public, say, hey, you sound the same as on radio or on show. I say, yeah, it's just me, right? And I think living your life authentically is the best business advice. No one's expecting you to be perfect. In fact, if you're perfect, people don't believe.
Yeah.
Cannot be this person squeaky clean, never say a F word, no problem in his life, happy marriage, 2 kids, the perfect. No one's going to believe that, even if it's real, right? But if you are going out there and says, I got my ups, I got my downs, but you are sharing every step of the way with you, they are very, very pro in wanting to support you.
I see. So besides genuine content, is there anything that you think you can share with us in terms of growing your social media or your YouTube? Like you think that you have really learned from growing the business?
First-hand account. I think they may not even teach you in content creation school. Right? Consistency is number 1. Okay, the rule number 1 is consistency. Rule number 2 is you will never be perfect. So for most content creators who want to create the perfect content before they were let go, that was the number one killer for a lot of content creators, because they end up not growing, they end up not doing. So you got to be consistent. You got to allow yourself flaws to create things. And third, create things that mean something to you. Why? Because you are going to be the content creator who's going to be creating for the next 10 years, next 20 years. God knows how long you're going to create. But you are the content creator. The minute you start to, hey, this is trending, let's follow trend. Hey, this one got a lot of views. You have no direction. You're just creating what is hot for the moment, and people know, like, am I following you? Am I following trend?
Oh, okay.
Right? But if I have something that is my brand, what is my brand? Or I'm the guy who is researching. I'm the guy who's always looking for answers. I'm the guy who's helping people. I'm the guy who's telling a story. Whether that's my story 10 years, my brand story 10 years ago, my brand story now, it doesn't change. What changes is the quality of my sound, my video, the depth of my investigation. Maybe I might have a co-host with me and run a parallel channel, but it's always going to be about your brand. So if you have no brand identity, you have no business. You are just another voice in the big void of the internet.
Yeah.
Big void, yes. That's the right word to use.
Because we think that you have to be very interesting for your
channel lah.
Yeah, that's why tend to like jump into doing all this trendy stuff.
I think what content creators fail to realize is that you are the most interesting product, not the trend. There have been other content creators that's boring as hell. I find him boring, but he has a lot of fans and people watch because he is authentic and we like what he represents. I think Davey 405 is a very interesting character. He's witty and funny, but tells joke in a very deadpan face and talks about bass. He's like millions of views, right? Like, how much can you talk about bass, really? But he has done it, and if you look at what he has done, its quality of video is terrible, but
That's
he
true.
is himself. People watch you for you. So yeah, if tomorrow I do the upper two, it's a one-off
Thing.
but it's not because Apatu is a trend. It's because Eugene does it. People laugh because they understand who I am. It's like watching your best friend, or if your mom does it, it's like very out of her character, right?
Yeah, that's why it's funny.
That's why it's funnier. But if you, this is the trend, let's do this, then you have no direction already.
Okay, okay, I get what you mean. So you have to really, really know yourself first.
Know your brand lah.
Know
Know your
brand
brand.
first. Yeah.
As a content creator, you are your brand.
Okay, so besides your YouTube and your social media, how has your business diversified since you taken it full time?
Oh my. So last time I was just collecting stories.
Yeah.
I just put online and that's it. And that probably earned me a few cents every week. I also started tours. And this year I've opened up a festival.
Oh yes, I saw that on your website.
Yeah.
3-day festival.
3-day festival. I also looking to merchandise. So these are all revenue generating streams. At the same time, the question I ask myself is, do my community want it? Am I on brand? Don't just create a vertical for making money without thinking of this question. So tour. Why tour is important? Because I've got all these stories and people are asking, can you bring me down to the place I want to see? Right? So, okay, I create tour. And that was how I went to actually get my tour guide license.
I see.
There's a story for that in a bit. I'll come to that. There's a funny story as well. So, festival. Why festival? All the time I'm doing this online, digitally. People are behind the screen. But what I also realized from my community is that they love to meet up. Like when there's a movie out there or whatever, they love to come and meet up. Because we feel very lonely.
Yeah, that's true. That's why you join the community, right? People with the same
We want to find other Xiao people who talk like those, that kind of thing. So the festival is important. And I tried 3 days because I wanted to use this 3 days as a snapshot to say that if I can do this 3 days well, the numbers and the stats are there. 2025, can I go to corporate businesses and would you like to fund this or would you like to sponsor this?
Okay.
At least I come to the table, got stats. It's not like this guy from out of nowhere wants to run a ghost festival. This is young, right?
Yeah.
So I want to do that. Again, this is all business practices, sound business practices. And then the other one is merchandise. When you go a growing fan base wants to own a piece of your brand. But do so with quality lah. Don't anyhow just print one T-shirt
From China, ship here.
then you after you wash a few times your T-shirt like that. So even merchandise, my community knows I would take a T-shirt, I will stress test it for months. Months. Okay. I wash and wash. Every day I wear, I wash, wear. So if you can last at least 30 to 90 days, right? I'll show them this is the end result of then people, this guy, he means it.
Okay.
So when my T-shirt is $38, they know what they're buying into.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Yeah. Okay. So you are very transparent with your community.
It has to be. Yeah, have to be. The minute you want to run a community, you want to be a channel, you want to be a spokesperson for anything, you got to be very transparent.
Yeah. So I'm also, because I'm a very kaypoh person, right? Like we said, I'm also very interested in history. So when I saw your tours, I was like, oh no, I want to go.
You got to come on the tour, yeah.
I think the second day is a movie screening, right?
Movie screening, which was second day of the festival?
Second day,
Yeah, we had movie screening as well.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So the 3 days festival, you do a lot of stuff together.
So we had a dining experience followed by a tour. My tours, the unique thing about my tour is that while they have ghost stories, of course that's what people come for, they have the history and the heritage portion, and the mysticism and folklore.
Oh, okay.
So when you come from it, you walk away, I didn't know, So not just entertained, but educated as well. And some of them actually come up to me and says, that's what my grandma used to tell me. So very nostalgic as well.
Yeah.
So it's a very unique tour that I run. And I was told by the tour guides in Singapore that no one has ever done the kind of tour that I do. Like there were people trying to run ghost tours, and there were ghost tours, but not at the level where I run. And how I became a tour guide was a funny encounter. So I didn't know what I was doing. Running a tour was illegal. I thought was just I bring people to places and I tell story, right?
Okay, because you got too many people asking you, can we go together or not?
Yeah. So when I got a call from STB, I thought, wow, I tantio already, they recognize me already. Right? But then I sat down in front of them at a long table. I was like, Mr. Tay, please have a seat. Do you know what you're doing is against the law? So long story short, I said, okay, I didn't know, but I'm willing to make a mess.
Make the change.
Tell me what I can do. Say, take a tour guide license. That time was 9 months long.
Wow.
7 months for the study, 1 month break, 1 month exam.
So long, 7 months to study to be a tour guide.
So by the time you get your license, is 1 year later. So I told STB, I said, how then this year I
don't need to do.
Then they, you just don't do for tourists lah. Locals you can do lah. So because I'm showing that I want to. It's not like I go there and fight them, right? So I said, okay lor. So all along I took my test lah. Then once I finally get it right, then the various government agencies start calling me and, would you like to run official tours for us?
Interesting.
So I met the STB director and everything and brought her for my tour as well. So very interesting. She's like, wow, very nice, but I don't think this is proper it's suitable for the mainstream crowd. Yeah, I said it's meant for niche.
Yes. Yeah, because you are probably the only person that I know that does dark tourism. Yeah, so just for our listeners, can you just explain a little bit about dark tourism?
Okay, so dark tourism is a very broad category. It just means going to tour in a place where bad things have happened. So even World War II, right? That would be considered dark tourism because there's death, there's Suqing massacre. So, but my dark tourism is, so there's death, there's Suqing massacre, but what are the stories that come out of it? So there's the paranormal stories, the sightings, right? So we talk about deaths, we talk about places with some form of trauma. Yeah, so that's where it falls into dark tourism. So Chinatown, for example, I've come out with a Chinatown tour called the Ghost of Chinatown Past. So there was a lot of tours in Chinatown.
Yes.
But no one has done ghost stories in Chinatown.
Yes.
But when you talk to any of the old tour guides, they said Chinatown got a lot of ghost stories. But they cannot talk about it.
Okay.
Because it's not in line with the tourism guidelines of how Singapore wants to be seen.
Okay.
But I have a brand of telling ghost story. So they come up to me and like, I tell you the ghost story, okay? You tell the story. Don't say it's from me.
Okay.
Die inside already.
Yeah, so it's quite funny to speak to some of this really 老家, who wants to tell the story but cannot tell.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we're supposed to ask you one more question, but I think you've touched it already about building a community of people supportive of cause. Because you said it's important to be authentic, it's important to be transparent and stuff lah. Yeah. So maybe my last question before I ask you about our the question we ask everybody is what are some of the next steps or like what are some of the upcoming initiatives that you think you want to try for Supernatural Confessions?
I think 2025, the biggest thing that I will be spending a lot of time on is running ground events, festival, as part of the festival. So I created a Something Strange festival. Look out for it. It's in June 12th to June 22nd. Instead of having it at one location, I'm having it at different locations around the island.
Oh, okay.
You will be going to people's houses, seeing things that you would not find online at all unless you know somebody. Like we talk about the heritage of lion dance, not just the lion dance, but the origin of the lion dance and what the spiritual practices that lion dancers actually do before.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
We talk about the Malay guy with collecting a lot of kris, the Indonesian kris. There's a belief that each of these kris have a spirit.
Oh, okay.
So you can go down and touch and feel. And then there's like different partners coming in the paranormal field, because I've been doing this again for 10 years. There's a lot of partners that I know who are also rising stars themselves. We are coming in together to like collaborate and partner up to run this. And I've got people from Philippines, Korea, Indonesia, paranormal groups also want to come to Singapore.
Oh, interesting. So it's like an exchange lah.
Yeah, so the way I look at it is like this thing is just growing and growing and growing now. And my most important job is to make sure that while the dreams are great, can it be feasibly done financially, able to run it? I think with the support of the community and how excited everyone is, I'm more confident lah. But as every businessman, we've got to be a bit more prudent, right? Cannot everything say yes. So like, be a bit more paranoid.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we have an event that's coming out in June that we can look forward to.
Yes, you guys are also invited.
Why you put it in June?
I did a bit of strategic planning in which month would be ideal. The second half of the year is so packed with a lot of things. 7 months included. The minute 7 months happens, I run this festival, I will not have people coming. I know this because people in my community have also told me, during 7 months, I never listened to your show. I only listened after that. I binge watch everything.
Wow, okay.
So the superstition and the pantang about 7 months is still very strong in Singapore. We will not be touching anything like that. Then you got October and Halloween. Then everyone also running it.
Yeah.
We shouldn't. So I think if it's too near to Chinese New Year, also no point. So June is like the sweet spot.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, look forward to that.
Can. Okay, so our customary question before we end every interview is, because we are a bookstore, we will ask you lah.
Yeah.
Okay, what is a recent book that you have read that has left an impression on you or you want to share with our listeners?
The most recent book I read is The Lesser and Greater Key of Solomon.
Oh, okay.
It's an Angmo book. It's a very old book. Apparently, it talks about the various demons and spells that people use throughout time.
Oh, okay.
And they detail the spell inside. And I'm not about to cast a spell, but I was very interested to know, because all along when I researched, what I know now is very Southeast Asian. This one is very Western. Demons, Satan, angels.
Okay.
So that's been a very interesting book that I find it difficult to put down. But it's also written in such old English that it's, yeah.
Wow, very, very, how to say, very lecture. We already very tired to try to decipher meaning.
Yeah, correct.
No, for this kind of English, you need to get in the mood. Then it goes easier after a while.
Must have fireplace and a whiskey as you read it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that sort of concludes our podcast interview. Any last things that Eugene want to share with our listeners? Maybe some, snippets or some advertisement for upcoming brand or upcoming events.
Well, since this is, after all, a publishing house and a bookstore, I gotta tell you guys, next year is my 10-year anniversary. So the book that you have in your hands, that is the first print original copy. From the design to the paper choices and everything is done
by you.
Right by me. But this year, 2025, it'll be the 10-year anniversary of this. So people are asking me, based on this story, from then to now, what are the changes? So I'm coming out with a 10th-year anniversary edition.
Okay.
With this old story and other stories along the way that shows the journey from where I was to where I am now. And I'm wondering if perhaps I could work with you to turn this to a Chinese version.
I think we'll be definitely interested. You see my chief editor behind. You got see the thumbs or not? Yeah. Because we also have another writer that that's supposed to write for us, but that one takes some time. But if this is out, I think knowing the out, we will prepare the contract, we can sign the translation.
Now.
Yeah, okay. But definitely we can talk more about this now. We'll always be interested to publish a Chinese version of it because not only can sell here, I think we want to sell it overseas also.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yeah, then because we go overseas, right? Everybody, like you say, bonded by this same thing for Supernatural. Yeah. But I think those people also want to know, so Singapore is 贵 got what different? Got different from Taiwan and 贵. Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, Eugene, for this interview. And for our listeners out there, please remember to tune in and listen and give us a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe. Bye-bye.
Bye.
海风聊天吧，
聊时事、生活与文化，
天天为您带来好书、好文创和好心情。
下一回再见喽，
拜拜。